What I often see is a young founder hasn't hired those levels in between to deal with all
Yeah.
those different types of problems. And they are like burning out and thinking of quitting. I had someone in my office last week and she's en route to build about a $50 million business this year. And the first question I said to her was, what's your executive team? And she just like rolls her eyes. She's like, I don't have an executive team.
Right.
She'd done a post on social media, basically in tears saying that she was going to quit. She's got a $30 to $50 million business. It's growing like wildfire, but she's about to almost quit it because she's dealing with every single
Right.
problem. And often founders say to me, they think because they're experiencing so much hardship in that like 1 to 3 million phase, that forever it's going to be just huge pain. And I talked to them about this thing I call
Yeah.
the promised land.
Dude, I love this. Yeah.
Because in the first 2-3 years of my business, I thought that forever I'm gonna have to deal with every fucking problem. Jenny in the office is pissed off at Dave, and on Saturday night when they were drunk, they did something which they shouldn't have. And I realized the problem was I hadn't solved for hiring these levels, so everything was coming to me. And the emotional toll on my nervous system of dealing with every problem was not sustainable.
Right.
And then I accidentally hired someone good.
Yeah.
Katie, who I mentioned. And
then she dealt with all
that. Yeah, she dealt with all the shit.
Yeah.
And then I could think again as a founder.
Right.
So I wanted to just give a moment to that and your thoughts on that.
I want to do my best shot at operationalizing what you just said for someone who's listening. When we encounter this issue, we have a specific process that we go through. And so we tell the founder, I want you to make a Google Sheet, really simple. And I want you to have the time slots from 5 a.m. to midnight, whatever, however long you work, in 15-minute increments. And I want you to set a timer, easy timer, kitchen timer, like for cooking, for every 15 minutes. And every 15 minutes, I want you to, when it dings, I want you to write down what you did. One or two words. Doesn't take a lot. Now, as soon as I say that, people are like, oh my God, I don't have time for this. I will promise you, it will be the most productive week of your life because you will be aware of how you're spending your time. Every time I do this, I immediately think I should do this all the time, and I don't. So just do it. Just do it for the 1 week, okay? And so what happens is you'll do it for a whole week, and then what the second step of this is you'll look at that and you'll say, okay, wow, I didn't know that 40% of my time is dealing with this thing, and I can hire a role to handle 40% of my time for this amount of money. If I had 40% of my time back, I could double this business, and that would be worth significantly more than what I'd pay this person. And then you look at the next 15% of your time, and you're like, okay, is this something that I can give to somebody else? Like, can I push this down? Can I create some process around this that can correct it? Or do I need to keep eating it for a little bit until it's enough that it's a full-time role? And so fundamentally, I see the entrepreneur as the many-hatted fractionalist that you continue to pull things onto your plate until you have enough that you can ship it out to somebody else full-time. And being aware of, again, the one resources we have, which is time, how we're allocating it so we get the highest return. And so if you look at the stack of time as an entrepreneur, we are always getting paid for our time. Kind of the premise of the whole talk here.